Shabbat, we read Parashat Bamidbar, and there's some good words of Torah root which can help us prepare ourselves for Shavuot, which is just 5 days ahead of us now. So the pasuk says, "Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe b'midbar Sinai v'chulei." And there's a Medrash Rabbi which says, "Mikan shanu hachamim." On this pasuk, a rabbi is taught, "B'shlosha dvarim nitna haTorah." Torah was given with three things, through three things, or by three things. Ba'esh u'b'mayim u'b'midbar, with fire and with water and with the desert. Where do we learn that from? Ba'esh minayin. How do we know the Torah was given with fire? Shene'emar b'har Sinai ashan kulo. The whole mountain of Sinai at the time of the giving of the Torah was smoke from the fire. U'b'mayim minayin. And how do we know that that Torah was given by water or with water? Shene'emar gam shamayim natafu, gam avim natafu mayim, which is also referring to Matan Torah. So we see that it was with water as well. Bamidbar minayin. And how do we know that the Torah was given because of the desert, through the desert? That's this week's parasha. Vaydaber Hashem el Moshe b'midbar Sinai. Hashem spoke to Moshe in the desert of Sinai. And then the Medrash goes on to explain, "V'lama nitna haTorah b'shlosha dvarim halalu." Why was Torah given specifically through these three entities of fire, water, and the desert? Ela lelamidenu, to teach us, ma elu esh mayim u'midbar, just like these three entities, fire, water, and the desert. Hinam lekol bay olam, they're free of charge. Now, they're available to all, like the air we breathe. So also the water is available, fire is available. And the desert is there, anyone who wants to go, there's no entrance fee. Kach divrei Torah hinam hem. So also the words of Torah are free. It doesn't cost anything. Shene'emar hoi kol sameh lechu lamayim. As the pasuk says, all those who are thirsty, go to the water. It's available. When mayim ela Torah, mayim refers to Torah, water is Torah. V'chol harotzei yavo v'yitor, and anyone who wants it can come and take it. Probably the Medrash is not referring to young children, that we still have to pay tuition fees. But when a person is grown up, he can make his decision to learn Torah, and it's there for the taking. This is a very important point. Torah munachat b'keren zavit, our Rabbi said. The Torah is waiting for you on the corner. You want to learn? Go pick it up and learn. It's available. It's all about involving yourself and applying yourself to it and learning with all your might and power, and you'll make it, you can become the Gadol Ador. It's available for everybody. Anyhow, to explain the connection of fire, water, and the desert with this concept of Matan Torah, of receiving the Torah, we could explain it according to the Gemara about the famous mahloket, the argument between Rabbi Eliezer against Chachmei Israel. Rabbi Eliezer on his own, concerning Tanurot Shel Achnai, a certain type of oven, concerning the din of this oven, and Eliezer and Rabbi Eliezer wouldn't give in to the majority. But the halacha is halacha karov, we go by the majority. And although he was very, very great, but the majority don't have to give up their opinion because of one great man, so they wouldn't agree with him. And when he saw that it's not, that his opinion is not being accepted, he did certain miraculous happenings. For example, he says, if I'm right, let the carob tree prove. It's haruv. So the tree walked into the Bet HaMidrash. Wow, a miracle. Hachamim are not impressed. They said, we don't bring proof from the carob tree. Okay, then he said, Amat hamayim yochiach. The stream will prove. The stream also flowed into the Bet Midrash. They were not impressed, the Hachamim. They said again, we don't bring proof from that. Then he said, Kotlei Bet HaMidrash yochiach. The walls of the Bet Midrash, of the yeshiva, will prove that I'm right, and they started tilting to fall down. The Hachamim put up their hand to stop it, and then they said, we don't bring proof from these things. Finally he said, okay, so Hashem will tell you I'm right. And they heard a bat kol, a divine voice saying, Halacha ke Rabbi Eliezer, he's right. So the Hachamim answered, Lo b'shamayim hi, the Torah is not in heaven anymore, it was given to us. Once it's ours, we make the decisions, and the decisions are made by the majority. That's the Gemara there. The Vilna Gaon asks a question. When he made the first three miracles, with the carob tree and the stream and the walls of the Bet HaMidrash, why didn't the Hachamim say, Lo b'shamayim hi? We don't go with miracles, we go with proof and discussion, and we don't agree. Why did they say, En mevi'im ra'aya? You can't bring proof from this, you can't bring proof from this, you can't bring proof from this. Whereas only with the bat kol, when there was this divine voice saying, Halacha ke Rabbi Eliezer, then they said, Lo b'shamayim hi. The Torah is not in the heavens, it was given to us, we make the decisions according to the majority. So the Vilna Gaon answers, the first three miracles, in inverted commas, that Rabbi Eliezer did, were not like divine intervention saying halacha is like him. He was just proving that he is the right person to be the one making the decisions in halacha. Why? This is all the Vilna Gaon saying. Because to be a great authority in halacha, you have to have humility, you have to have continuous study, and you have to live a life of histabkut, which means sufficing with the minimum, basic necessities, and not overindulging in worldly pleasures and enjoyment. And he said, I have these points in me, that's how I live, so the halakha should be like me. But the Hachamim answered, no, you can't bring proof from that, we also live like that. So if you have humility, if you have, you learn day and night, if you live a life of histabkut, of managing with the minimum, we also live like that. So that's not a proof. Till the bat kol came, and that was really divine involvement, saying the halakha is like him, so they said no. The Torah is given to us, we make the decisions. According to this, we can explain the same thing here. Esh, Maim and Midbar, fire, water and the desert, are referring to the same entities or as in the Machloket of Rabbi Eliezer v'Hachamim, which was the carob tree, the stream, and the walls of the yeshiva which were caving in. So what do we mean? We mean like this. We'll go from the simple to the more complicated. Water always refers to humility because water comes from above and comes down. So Torah also comes down to the more humble people. That was the concept of water. The desert refers to sufficing with the minimum, because in the desert there's no luxuries. So that's two of the points. The third point is fire. So what does fire refer to? This is the fire in our heart, the heart of a Talmid Chacham who wants to devote himself to Torah and learn Torah day and night. He's on fire. So it's the same concept of the walls caving in, which because the walls were so absorbed with the Torah, Rabbi Eliezer who was learning in the Beit Midrash day and night, that we see that he was a great shakdan in learning, was learning non-stop because of the fire of the love of Hashem and the love of the Torah in his heart. So we could say this is the fire we're speaking about. There's another aspect of fire in learning Torah, which is the fact that Torah has to be learned with fire, meaning very active and very aggressive discussion and argument. Torah is not about nodding your head and saying, yes, you're right. We see the way the Hachamim used to learn. They were on fire, arguing, discussing, bringing proof, etc., etc. They're all looking for what is the ultimate truth. There's no ego involved. But still, they learn with fire. Rabbi Chaim Volozhiner explains in his Pirush on Masechet Avot, on the Mishnah, let your home be a home full of rabbis. He says, have a big library. All the rabbis will be with you. Then he says, meaning, sit at the dust of their feet. That's the literal meaning, but he explains it differently. He says, you can fight. Litabek means to wrestle. Like we see by the angel of Esav fighting Yaakov Avinu. It says in the Pasuk, Ve'avek ish imo. This angel was wrestling with him. We find there that the Targum, the Aramaic translation of the Torah, says concerning the word Ve'avek, to wrestle, Vishtadla gabar imeh. The word ishtadla. And throughout the Zohar we see that this word is used for learning Torah. Hava mishtadal be'oraita. Whenever the Zohar speaks about learning, they use the word ishtadala be'oraita, which really means to fight. And this is what the Hachamim called milhamta shel Torah. Torah is a battle. A father and his son, the rabbi and his teacher are fighting like with swords. The end is everyone is at peace with one another. Why? Because there's no ego involved. It's just that each one really cares to understand the Torah correctly, and they feel that their explanation is the right one, and they argue to prove their point. So although it's a wrestling match, and it's a war, Torah, it's the war of Torah, which is what we call the fire, learning with while on fire. So much so that the Zohar says all forms of anger are forbidden, except the anger of learning Torah. If a person through Torah gets excited and worked up and like burning with fire, that's acceptable and loved by Hashem. Because Hashem wants us to learn Torah with fire.